So I want to talk about the functions that most newer film cameras and non-professional digital cameras have, and that is modes. I recently picked up this Canon Rebel G in a bundle with a bunch of other cameras for a really good deal, and I popped a roll of Fuji C200 through it and wasn't expecting much, but when I got the photos back, I was really impressed. They looked really, really good. So I put some Kodak Pro Image 100 in it and took it down to one of my favorite spots. And I want to share some of the shots with you and talk about the modes on the camera and why I shot them for particular scenes. So let's have a look at the photos. So for these images, I shot on landscape mode. Normally, if I shoot in aperture priority, I always stick with f11, f16, or as stop down as the light allows, which it normally does here as it's super sunny. I'm generally wanting as much in focus as possible, and I tend to avoid bokeh unless I feel it genuinely enhances the image. Landscape mode will generally opt for a smaller aperture, and I find it works really well for my style, and it's so quick and easy to just flick it into landscape rather than messing around with all of the settings. I do this quite often and it always seems to achieve the look that I'm going for. In this photo here, you can see that it's really flat and it has a wide range of focus pretty much over the whole image, which is exactly what I'm going for. My favorite of the landscape mode shots that I took is the one of the trolley. It's just one of those moments where everything just lines up perfectly. I've got like the red and white of the crossing and the red and white of the trolley. And yeah, I'm getting some big Kevin Landers vibes. If you haven't seen my video on him, definitely watch that. I'll pop a card up here so you can jump to that one. So the next mode that I used is portrait mode. Now this sounds pretty self-explanatory, but anybody who is new to photography or new to modes, I'll just cover it really quickly. Basically, portrait mode is going to open the aperture up, let lots of light in so that you can get a shallow depth of field, which creates separation from subject and background, which can be really effective. Otherwise known as bokeh or bokeh, I'm not sure exactly how you say it, or like a blurry background. Different lenses are known for their distinctive bokeh, which is why a lot of photographers will opt for vintage lenses to put on their digital cameras, as they have like a lot more character and kind of imperfections than just using like a newer lens. So if you've been watching the channel for a while, you'll know that I don't really shoot portraits. But I do get quite close up to subjects and really want to focus on just like one little detail. So portrait mode was actually really useful for me, as I got to place emphasis on like that one thing and then have the background blurred out, which isn't something I would normally do myself with the settings. So yeah, this ended up being a really effective thing for me. So for example, this shot of the flower in the fence, which I feel like I was really lucky to find, it's got a shallow depth of field, and that's really enhanced the composition, and it's almost like the flower is the person or the subject in this image, and I'm a really big fan of it. Similar with these dashboard photos here, I was able to just get a couple of things in focus and then have all the background blurred out, which I really enjoyed and think really worked for this particular style. And yeah, I was really enjoying cruising around and like having a little peek in people's cars and seeing what they had on their dashboard. It's really kind of interesting and could be a really interesting series, I think, or maybe even make a cool zine. So that's something I might work on in the future. So I'm sure that people who are shooting professionally aren't using portrait mode, but I do think it can be really useful for anyone who's just wanting to take a quick photo, especially someone who's modeled like a lot in the past, and my partner takes photos of me. Sometimes it takes him a long time to like set up, and you do kind of lose the momentum with your subject or your model. So if you were just wanting to grab a couple of quick shots, popping it in portrait mode and just snapping away and keeping that vibe up could be really useful for you. Portrait mode could also be useful in low light situations, as it's going to open up your aperture and let lots of light in. Like this cinema shot here was really, really low light, but still came out really nice. So of course I could pop this into like aperture priority, and then I could set my aperture, like judge the scene, do all of that. But on these cameras where you are pressing buttons and turning kind of plastic wheels, you're not changing things manually like you would on like a nice sort of older SLR. I don't really see the difference between literally just popping it on portrait and I'm like ready to go. The next mode is sports mode, which isn't something I thought I would be using, but it actually has a lot of useful applications. So basically sports mode is going to prioritize a faster shutter speed and give you way more chance of your subject being in focus, which can be great if you're shooting children who love to constantly move around. Obviously a sporting event or some kind of like protest event where people are moving around a lot. And in my case, on this day, it was extremely windy and I was getting a lot of things like palm trees, or there was a shot of an umbrella and that was moving a lot in the wind. So sports mode was really useful here to try and increase my chance of getting that in focus and not like all blurry. This camera and many other cameras that are similar to this will probably have something like a night mode, which I haven't used. It would probably do something like a slow sync flash. Blech, that's so hard to say. Or again, it'll go down to a slow shutter speed and you might have to use something like a tripod, which if you've been watching the channel, you know that I wouldn't do that. Macro mode will be another one that will feature, but you will of course have to have a lens that will be able to shoot macro photography. That's again, not something that I do, but if you wanted to get, you know, those classic shots of flowers really close up or something like that, I'm sure that this camera would be more than capable of doing that. My partner took this shot of me in macro mode, super close up, and this will show you sort of what it's capable of. And yeah, I think it looked really cool. Don't forget, I do have a Patreon and I would love it if you checked it out and joined me over there. I've had a couple of new people, so thank you so much to anyone who has joined and I hope you're enjoying it. I also have prints for sale and I have a discount code available, so hit me up on Instagram for that one too. So I was recently watching a video here on YouTube. There was an older gentleman going through these cameras, the Canon and then the sort of the Nikon equivalent, and he was really championing these for students, people who are learning photography, as they are in abundance and can be picked up really cheap. I'm also a big fan of them for those reasons, so I was really happy to see someone else on YouTube talking about these cameras. But this guy was saying that the modes on the camera are amateur mode and aperture priority is creative mode, which I'm sure is just what they say like in the industry, and I'm sure that there was no malice behind it, but I don't think that these modes should be labeled as amateur, and I don't think that people should be put off by hearing that or think that they can't shoot in those modes. I'm all about doing what works for you and not worrying about the label or what someone's going to think, and I'm really happy with these images and I've shown them to quite a few people and they've said how amazing they are, and then I've told them I shot them all on modes, so I don't think that there's anything to be ashamed of here. Whether you want to shoot on auto, you want to use modes, or you want to go fully manual, you do what works for you and don't let someone call you an amateur for using portrait mode or landscape mode.